சிவாய. ஓம் நம 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 சிவாய. ஓம் நம
நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க நாதந்தாள் வாழ்க இமைப்பொழுதும் என் நெஞ்சில் நீங்காதான் தாழ் வாழ்க போகலியாண்ட குருமனிதன் தாழ் வாழ்க ஆகமம் ஆகிருந்தன்னிப்பான் தாழ் வாழ்க ஏகன் அநீகன் இறைவனடி வாழ்க வேகம் கெடுத்தாண்ட வேந்தனடி வெல்க பிறப்பருக்கும் பிஞ்சகந்தன் பெய்களர்கள் வெல்க புறத்தார்க்குச் சேயோந்தன் பூங்கடல்கள் வெல்க கரங்குவிவார் உண்மகிழும் கோன்கடல்கள் வெல்க சிறங்குவிவார் ஓங்கி விக்கும் சீரோன் கடல் வெல்க. ஈசனடி போற்றி எந்தையடி போற்றி தேசனடி போற்றி சிவன் சேவடி போற்றி நேயத்தே நின்ற நிமலனடி போற்றி மாயப்பிறப்பருக்கும் மன்னனடி போற்றி சீரார் பெருந்துரை நம் தேவனடி போற்றி ஆராத இன்பம் அருள்மலை போற்றி சிவனவனின் சிந்தையுள் நின்ற அதனால் அவன் அருளாலே அவந்தாள் வணங்கி சிந்தை மகிழ சிவபுராணம் தன்னை முந்தை வினை முழுதும் ஓய உரைப்பன் யார். கண்ணுதலாம் தங்கருணை கண்காட்ட வந்தெய்தி கண்ணுதற்கட்டாகளிலார் கடலிறங்கி விண்ணிறைந்து மண்ணிறைந்து மிக்காய் விடங்கொழியார் எண்ணிறந்தெல்லை இராதானே நின்றறிந்தேன் பொல்லா வினையேன் புகழுமாறொன்றறியேன் புல்லாகி பூடாய் புடுவாய் மரமாகி பல்விருகமாகி பறவையாய் பாம்பாகி கல்லாய் மனிதராய் பேயாய் கணங்களாய் வல்லசுரராகி முனிவராய் தேவராய் செல்லான் என்ற இத்தாவர சங்கமத்துள் எல்லா பிறப்பும் பிறந்திழைத்தேன் எம்பெருமா. நீயே உன் பொன்னடிகள் கண்டுன்று வீடுற்றேன் உய்ய என் உள்ளத்துள் ஓங்காரமாய் நின்ற மெய்யா விமலா விடைப்பாக வேதங்கள் ஐயா என ஓங்கி ஆழ்ந்தகன்ற நுண்ணியனே வெய்யாய் தனியாய் இயமான நாம் விமலாம் பொய்யாய் இணையெல்லாம் போயகல வந்தருளி மெய்ஞானமாகி மிளிர்கின்ற மெய்யுடரேன் எஞ்ஞானமில்லாதேன் இன்பப் பெருமானேன் அஞ்ஞானம் தன்னை அகல்விக்கும் நல்லறிவே ஆக்கமடகிருதி இல்லாய் அனைத்துலகும் ஆக்குவாய் காப்பாய் அழிப்பாய் அருள் தருவாய் போக்குவாய் என்னை புகுவிப்பாய் நின் கொழும்பில் நாற்றத்தின் நேரியாய் சேயாய் நனியானே மாற்ற மனம் கடிய நின்ற மறையோனே கறந்தபால் கண்ணனோடு நெய்கலந்தாற் போல சிறந்தடியார் சிந்தனையுள் தேனூறி நின்று பிறந்த பிறப்பருக்கும் எங்கள் பெருமான் நிறங்களோரைந்துடையாய் முன்னோர்களேத்த மறைந்திருந்தாய் எம்பெருமான் வல்வினையேன் தன்னை மறைந்திட மூடிய மாய இருளை அறம்பாவம் என்னும் அருங்கயிற்றாற் கட்டி புறந்தோள் மூர்த்தங்கும் குடு அடுக்கு மூடி மலஞ்சோறும் 9 வாயிற்குடிலை மலங்க புலனைந்தும் வஞ்சனையைச் செய்ய விலங்கு மனத்தால் விமலா உனக்கு கலந்தகன் பாகி கதிந்துள்ளுருகும் நலம் தானிலாத சிறியேற்கு நல்கி நிலந்தன் மேல் வந்தருளி நீழ்கடல்கள் காட்டி
Then it has a plot like this, water in there, and they go around.
This is the violin. These all better things that we have put in the food. And there are some flowers also.
I'm sorry that I couldn't be there, but I wanted to send this as a tribute.
You can start now. Just need a small glass.
Plastic glass, I don't.
They will have, they will have.
Oh, they will.
Okay, can I ask him?
Can I go and sit down here?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
You can sit now.
So we can start now.
Yeah, you can start now.
Can I start now? I don't need a mic. I can take this mask out when I speak.
Yeah, you can speak without mask. It's okay, take it.
Thanks. என் அன்புக்கும் மதிப்புக்கும் உரிய மனிதோபா வாழ் நண்பர்களே, உறவினர்களே, குடும்ப உறுப்பினர்களே, இங்கிலாந்திலிருந்தும் டொரண்டோ மாநிலத்திலிருந்தும் வந்திருக்கும் குடும்ப உறுப்பினர்களே, இந்த கொரோனா வைரஸின் தாக்கத்தாலும் கொரோனா ஒமிக்ரோன் வேரியன்ட் தாக்கத்தாலும் மக்கள் பாதிக்கப்பட்ட இந்த சூழ்நிலையிலும் கனடாவின் வருடாந்த விண்டர் காலகட்டத்தில் மிக தாக்கமான இந்த சூழ்நிலையிலும் இங்கு வருகை தந்துள்ள உங்களை திருமதி செல்லம்மா மகாதவன்பிள்ளையின் இறுதிச் சடங்குகளை கௌரவிக்கும் முகமாக வந்திருக்கும் உங்களை அன்னாரின் மூத்த மருமகன் என்ற முறையிலே முதற்கண் அன்பான நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொண்டு உங்களை அன்புடன் வரவேற்கின்றேன். Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor and privilege to convey my deepest condolence to Mrs. Sellamma Mehadevanpillai, who was departed from our family. Ever since I have married Chandralekha in 1981, whereas noticed she was a very unique person. Her cultural, traditional, and Hindu religious personal values were outstanding. She was a vegetarian and maintained it throughout her life. She was always very kind with her children, grandchildren, daughter-in-laws, and son-in-law. When she lost her husband after 40 years of long-term marriage, she was mentally and physically declined later on. My wife, myself, and my children look after her for 16 years at my home. She lost her physical ability in 2017. Thereafter, she was moved to Golden Door Nursing. My wife and my brother-in-law, Mr. Panjendra Bose, look after her to their best ability to made her to be happy. Mr. Ravindra Bose had also taken care of her while was here in Winnipeg City due to the nature of business was outside city. I would like to say, Sellamma Mehadevanpillai, even though she was reached at 95 years old, she was very lucky to have a great children look after her during their busiest life in Canadian soil. She lost her elder son, Mr. Chandrabose Mehadevanpillai, in last July during the coronavirus restricted situation in Sri Lanka. He helped his family since his young age from Canada. I would never have dreamed that Mr. Chandra Bose is departed from us as early in my lifetime. Mr. Chandra Bose, I feel very difficult situation when I heard the information that you all of a sudden passed away in Sri Lanka. My son is a doctor, contacted with the doctors in Japanese Civil Hospital and got to know you while you were affected by coronavirus infection and you were getting better. So I was really happy at the time. You were getting up. Hopefully we'll be seeing you as usual. But the fortunate situation was totally disappointed. When I heard the message that you passed away, it was really a bad feeling in our community, in our family. I don't know how do I feel the situation we went through. We didn't have a chance to pay our last respect, even though you help us in your lifetime for all the family members, according to your ability, even the difficult situation you went through, you help all the people. So that on behalf of the Sellamma's family, our heartfelt condolences for a great son, Mr. Bose. I would like to say very thankful for the obituary online notice. It was introduced by the great volunteers of Mr. Mailvahanam, Mr. J.K. Jayandan, and through the volunteer non-profit organizations of Manitoba, TCSM, Tamil Christian Association, and the Hindu Society of Manitoba. Our family is really thankful for their great volunteering for the Tamil community. Our family would like to thank the Golden Door Nursing, from the Director of Care to all department staffs for their special care and act of kindness shown to Sellamma during her stay. Lord Murugan blesses your soul for an eternal peace. Goodbye, Sellamma. I would like to call here one of the grandchildren, corporate lawyer, Mr. Ranesh Ravindra Bose.
I want to thank everyone for coming. Given the climate, your presence is greatly appreciated. For those that don't know me, my name is Ranesh Ravindra Bose, and Sellamma Mehadevanpillai is and will always be my grandmother, Appamma. It has been a strange and tumultuous year for many of us. The hope to return to some semblance of normalcy has been revived and punctured time and time again with the news of variants and surges and case counts and hospitalizations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We all know the drill. And under the ashen backdrop of this pandemic, it is with the utmost sadness that for my family, the second pandemic year has culminated with the most difficult news of all, the passing of Appamma. Appamma was a strong and stoic woman. But somehow, I've never met anyone who combines these contradictory dispositions. She was also bright and viciously humorous. She would serve rice and lentils and laugh, knowing that I would not eat until she served the chicken. You need the chicken, she would say, sarcastically, knowing the young version of myself cannot eat a meal without meat. Now, I don't eat meat anymore, much like Appamma, who never ate a shred of meat her entire life, and yet was able to cook meat-based dishes with depth and flavor that Indian restaurants could only dream of without missing a beat. Appamma was a person of empathy, with a devout religious and moral conviction that all people are deserving of dignity. Anyone who has met my father or my uncles or my aunts know that they're all the type of people who would give you the shirt off their back if you asked. That is the lessons that they've learned from Appamma, and one that me and my siblings hope to carry on. The time my siblings and my cousins, Shivram, Deepa, Patiran, Sarain, Pradhian, Kublin, and Nivedan, had shared such sacred moments with Appamma, I cherish and hold on to them as some of my most comforting memories. Playing gleefully as Appamma gossiped with Mommy and Appappa wrestling on the television. In the background, happy moments, we were at peace. These memories carry me to this day, and I call upon them in times of struggle. Appamma, even now, you are with us. We are a family of privilege. My siblings and cousins are lawyers, teachers, accountants, doctors, engineers. Appamma taught us that the value of labor and letting us maximize our own potential. Appamma left a war-torn country for a foreign country, foreign language, foreign people, and foreign mannerisms. For the purpose of giving her children and her grandchildren an opportunity for a better life, Appamma taught me an important and humbling lesson. My privilege has come on the backs of my predecessors. Appappa and Appamma were persons who made a successful life from very, very little. The ability for me, my siblings, and my cousins to have the life that we have is thanks to their sacrifice. Her last few years were unfortunately ones of poor health, with her eyesight, hearing, and mind failing. Despite the great sadness of this day, I am glad she's no longer in pain. She was a person who was so vibrant, her corporeal presence no longer suited her. Apama, I still know you're here with me now. Thank you for your guidance, your wisdom, your happiness. It will endure. As long as I live, your memory will never die. I'd like to ask Kablin and Vedan to share a few words. Thank you.
My name is Kabilan, and I'm one of 18 of Sellamma's beautiful and intelligent grandchildren. I was fortunate enough to have had my grandmother live with my family for the first several years of my childhood. And I've made many fond memories during those years. One of my favorite memories was that Apama would always ask me if I wanted tea and make tea every single day. It was probably the best tea ever made, and I always think about her, and it really taught me how she cared about my brother, myself, and all my cousins. She also cared really about my education and my grades. She was actually the first person that helped me write my alphabet. She was very driven, and I learned how hard work and a sense of drive can help you accomplish your dreams. She also really liked gardening and showed me tomatoes and different plants that she grew every year. Apama always provided those vegetables to anyone who walked through her door, and this awareness to provide to others really helped instill what kind of person I wanted to be and paved the way to where I am today. A fun summer activity I always looked forward to in the summer was go to the beach at Birdsall Park in Manitoba with Apama. I remember we always prepared amazing vegetarian curry, and ate it there. And she always made sure that we ate really good as well. Afterwards, she would always give us money to buy some sweets. And Naveda and I, my brother, we would say Nunjari and run off while she watched us buy those sweets. An important message Apama always shared with me every time I saw her until the last day I saw her was, firstly, don't fight with my brother, and secondly, care about your family members. If I were to use a tree of life analogy, Apama was a strong foundational branch giving rise to us new budding leaves. Apama, I love you, and I will always forever miss you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mehadevanpillai, and I am one of Sellamma's grandsons and Kalban's brother. I share so many fond memories with my grandma growing up. We were very fortunate enough to have our grandmother live with us when we were young. Our grandma was such a strong and passionate person. You can see that with everything she did, she put all her effort and her whole mind into it. Everything that she has taught me has stuck with me to this day. Even after she moved out, she made sure we were always being well taken care of by my parents and family. Every day when I was in elementary and middle school, I used to come home from school to a phone call from Apama, always at 4:30 p.m. I used to be the one to pick up the phone at home, and I distinctly remember her asking me 3 questions always. The first question was, "How are you doing?" In which I would always respond by saying, "Na nala irikren." When I would say this 95% of the time, I was telling the truth. I was doing well and everything was okay. The other 5% of the time was because my Tamil was so poor, I couldn't even tell her I wasn't doing okay, even if I wanted to. She was one of the only people I spoke Tamil with, and without her, I would not know my mother tongue as well as I do today. She was the one who motivated me to learn Tamil and go to classes so I can properly communicate with her and the rest of my family. This has been one of the most important things for me with identifying and embracing my culture. The second question she would ask me on the phone was, how was school? From a young age, it was clear that my grandma highly valued education and doing well in school. This was a trait that was passed down to our parents and eventually to us. It was always important to her that her grandparents be successful, and that's very visible today as me and my brother and all of our cousins are doing very well. Being young, I always took for granted being born in Canada and not understanding the hardship that my grandparents and family had to go through moving from a foreign country to Canada and learning a new language and everything. Our grandma always knew the advantage that we had and the potential that all our cousins and I would have, and always pushed us to succeed. The last question she would always ask me was, did you eat well? And I always defaulted to two answers, Nansapatapuran or Omapama. I knew that if I gave any other answer, then she would give the phone to when I gave the phone to my dad, she would yell at him for not taking care of me and feeding me well. Even when she was not living with us and looking after us, our grandma still ensured that we were well taken care of. Back when she lived with us, she helped our family so much. She was the one who would cook and feed for us sometimes. And I distinctly remember her cooking too. It was always so spicy, yet so delicious. Having not visited Sri Lanka yet, I always imagined that this is what authentic Sri Lankan food would taste like. In the recent years, as my grandma got older, it was evident that her body could not keep up with her mind. Though her physical health declined in the recent years, her soul was always strong. When I would visit her, though it was hard to communicate and directly see it, our grandma was such a strong woman on the inside. This was the toughest time to see, as her body cannot keep up and do what her mind wanted her to do. Over the past few years as well, as my grandma was in the nursing home, it was incredible to see my father's and our family's dedication to visiting her mother while in the nursing home. I remember seeing our dad making such a strong habit of seeing her 3 to 4 times a week for the past 4 years. There was nothing that would ever prevent him from seeing her and taking care of her. If I needed something from him, it would have to wait till before or after his visit. It didn't matter if it was my birthday, whether I just got back from a trip, or any other special event. Seeing that level of dedication from my father and the family was truly admirable to me, and I hope that one day I can take as good care of my family as he did for his own mother. Our grandma lived a full and happy life, and that's something to celebrate. Without her, none of us would be the way we are today, and for her, we are very thankful. I hope her soul continues to find happiness and peace, and we will love you and miss you, Apama.
Send this as a tribute to my grandmother as the eldest daughter of her eldest son. Apama lived with my family from the day that I was born, so she always took care of me and my brother. I'll cherish those early days where we would spend hours drawing, playing board games, and singing songs. When it was warm in Winnipeg, we would go on long walks. And even though we spent so much time with one another, she would always happily entertain my childish ideas. Later, when she moved into her own home with my grandpa a block away, I would often run over to her house, and before I could even say hello, she would ask me, "Have you eaten yet?" Typical grandmother behavior. Of course, I knew better than to show up at her home with a full stomach. She always made sure that me and my brother were well fed. She was an excellent cook, and every time I attempt to recreate one of her recipes, I'll fondly remember all the meals we shared. I admired her dedication to being a vegetarian and often hear her voice in my head making fun of me for eating pundi. I'll always think of her on meat-free Mondays. I recently visited Sri Lanka to see the place where my parents grew up. To finally see the place that up until recently had only been a story made me realize the remarkable journey they had all been on, and what an accomplishment it truly was. To hear stories from those who could not escape made me comprehend my immense fortune and the comfort and safety I had because of my father's desire to make a better life for his family. Apama was always there to take care of us when my parents were working long hours. I will forever be grateful for the time we had together, sharing art and music and books, and her influence will undoubtedly remain with me for the rest of my days.
I'd like to say a few words about my grandmother, Sellamma Mehadevanpillai. Amma acted as a foundation for our family as a whole. This is especially in my childhood. She would kindly take on the care of me, my brother Parthiban, and she often spoiled us both with money, gifts, and special foods. Some memories include when I was in grade 1. My mom took me and my brother to go visit my grandparents. After spending the day with them, my mom, knowing I was quite shy, asked if I wanted to stay with my grandmother at the show. But to her surprise, I said yes, and I stayed with her for the next 3 days. During these 3 days, I drew pictures with my grandmama and watched movies. When I was in grade 4, I made the decision to save all the money my grandmother gave me. And at the end of 4 months, I was shocked to find that I had saved $400. She was kind to all her children and their families, our uncles, aunties, the cousins, and friends. I, my brother, and the cousins, often because of our grandmother's kindness, got to buy a lot of candies, ice cream, and special treats. She would have provided us anything we would have asked for, and she was always a pleasure to be around. When I was much younger, I always was excited to go visit my grandmother's house because it meant spending time with the family, playing games, and appreciating Amma's delicious meals. She often would spend a long time preparing these meals for the whole family. She was a devoted Hindu and she was a vegetarian. She loved listening to Hindu religious songs early in the morning on Tuesday and Fridays. And I remember waking up to these songs and feeling happy to hear them. When she was still at home, I sat with her each evening and she often asked about how my days were going by. She enjoyed reading a lot of books and watching Tamil dramas. When I was in high school, my grandma often would buy groceries while I wasn't home, and by the time I came home, she would have prepared a whole table worth of enjoyable foods. She really liked helping people as well. At the start of the last 6 years, she started to struggle. At her home, she would stumble with her cane and fall down. She eventually would fall down each day. At this time, we had a home care worker who participated in her care. As another year went by, she began to lose her vision and hearing. Thus, she could not listen to music she appreciated or read the books she could enjoy. She had dementia in her old age as well. When she was brought to the Grace Hospital, she was in critical health, and she eventually recovered during her stay there. However, from there, she was sent to the Golden Door Geriatric Center. This decision felt really hard on my mother. None of the staff could speak Tamil at the care home. My grandmother could not speak English. She really wished to come home, thus Amma Abama Rahima visited her as much as possible. We also brought her home once, but unfortunately it was during her sleeping hours, so even though we brought her home, she wasn't really awake to recognize it. Amma was the type of person that really appreciated spending all her time with her family and friends. In conclusion, I'm grateful for the time spent with my Amma and the values that she instilled in me. I miss her genuine care and her involvement.
And
Hello, dear family, friends, and guests. My name is Mehadevanpillai. My mother is Chandralekha Kamaleswaran, and Sellamma Mehadevanpillai is my maternal grandmother, my Amma. It's hard to put to words how I felt since finding out about my Amma's passing. I have been living in Australia for the past 10 years, and over this period, I've only seen her at brief intervals during school holidays, those times with her care, wisdom, and humor. The second last time with immense joy, as she was at my marriage ceremony in 2016, and her love was deeply important to me for that period. The last time being in 2018, where I was numbingly saddened to see how she had deteriorated in her care home, being wheelchair bound and frequently unable to recognize me. My mother would tell me that she would frequently ask where I was when I was in Australia, wondering why I didn't come to see her. Whatever sadness I have felt, my dear family, my mother and my uncles in particular, have had to deal with so much whilst I have been away. What words I can say is that she was a second mother to me, having shaped what good values I have as she raised me for a good portion of my life. My earliest memories of Amma are jumbled recollections of her and my Amma babysitting myself and Thambi. I honestly only remember her caring and loving us, playing with us over the years, and I don't have any memory of her disciplining us or actually being angry at me when I was a child. During my elementary and junior high years, I remember visiting Amma's home, and she always made the best chicken curry I've ever had. Even thinking about this makes my mouth water since it was just excellent. Always the spiciest and most flavorful. I think also during this time, she was an important bridge between myself and my mother. She helped me love my mother more as I saw their dynamic relationship together in relation to myself. And she helped me understand my mother better. During my high school years and my undergraduate degree, my grandmother lived with us for approximately a decade prior to my departure to Australia. I have fond memories of her playing religious music early in the morning and coming to my room to ensure I did not sleep in, so that I could come down and eat the breakfast she made, which was always delicious and wonderful. She also consistently took my side when I had arguments with Amma, and I must confess I appreciated this a lot. She ensured that I studied more, slept earlier, ate well, and behaved like a proper man should. I did not want to disappoint her, and I think that led to better decisions in my life. Her patience and care for Ammapa while he was with us as well for so many years was also a meaningful sight to behold, a true dedication of love. She was a very devout religious woman, and her strong beliefs gave me some peace when I needed comfort from her. She was always there when I needed her to reassure me and make me feel better. For many of these years, she would frequently ensure I stood tall and proud and walked with confidence. Even these days, when I am slouched, I think of her words and her strong posture when I was growing up. This helped me correct my own posture and just make me stand tall and proud. I miss her very much. I love her dearly. I am grateful for the time I had with her. I'm grateful for all that she's done for me and my family. I'll leave it at that.
Our veteran Pandit, Mr. Majuraju, will explain the significance of the funeral celebration today.
வணக்கம் நமஸ்காரம் I will briefly say a few words about our ancient Hindu traditions. And we do the funeral as cremation rather than burying because in ancient times the deaths were due to pandemics and a lot of infections. So when you bury, of course, the bacteria can come up to life whenever they come into contact. So they always did a cremation, which is safe for everyone, and also it's less space consuming. These are the practical reasons why they preferred the cremation rather than the burial. Other than that, we also have a lot of spiritual beliefs where we believe that the body is a one time affair. That means each time you take a birth, you take a different body and you experience a different life. That is like every time you take a birth, you have different experience in this world, and then you evolve to be a higher being. You learn a lot of lessons of the life, and you develop more loving, caring, sacrificing spiritual nature in each birth. You advance in this way to become a better soul. So we saw through all the speeches that Mrs. Sellamma is a very noble, spiritual, sacrificing lady. She has fed people in the temples because we believe that any sacred act you do in the temple becomes 100 times multiplied in its virtue. So when you feed somebody in the temple, do some good work or service in the temple, it becomes much more sacred and much more virtuous. It rewards the soul in much more better way, doing service in the temple. And sacrificial acts are considered to be very noble and highest that you can do in this world. So she was performing all those things in this lifetime. And she's also taking care of all the family. That means she's completely fulfilling all her responsibilities. That shows that she is learning all her life lessons, and then she also understands that vegetarianism is very important for spiritual life because of course all life in this world everything has life, even vegetarian has life, but but slightly less pain is there when you eat vegetarian compared to meat eating. So she realized something like that and she's a vegetarian, which again adds to her spiritual life. Therefore she has definitely done great noble tasks, actions in this lifetime, and therefore she is definitely going to go to a better life or a higher spiritual life or go to the god himself. In this way, we can say each lifetime is a progression in the biggest journey of life, where every time you're born, you're evolving into a higher being and more noble being. Ultimately, become godlike or become extremely spiritual. That's when you attain the moksha. When you become highly spiritual, the clear indication for that is extreme loving nature and sacrificing nature. When you develop these qualities, then you become godlike and therefore you attain salvation or moksha. So, because we believe in many rebirths, we don't believe in preserving the body in any form. In fact, we believe that the body becomes an attachment to the soul to evolve before it evolves into the next lifetime. So, we completely dissolve the body so that the soul can quickly evolve into a next life. Also, when you dissolve the body, we believe in five elements: earth, water, air, fire, and space. So, the body acquires all these five elements from the nature, and after death, these body elements are dispersed back into the nature when you offer the body in the cremation. So, when you offer the body in the cremation, all the five elements go back to the nature. It is the thankfulness of the soul to the nature that the soul got all these five elements to make this body and to have a relation with the family, and then, of course, live a happy life here and then serve the people and then go. So, it's a thankfulness to the nature for giving these five elements and then dispersing them back in the nature. So, that is what we do in the cremation. Also, the cremation is called in Hindu scriptures as a yajna. Yajna means a fire ritual. In this fire ritual, the body of the parent is offered. So that's why it's called the Naramedham, an offering of the body of the human, Pitrumedham, a parent's body in the fire, so that the body is offered and sacrificed and the soul evolves. So this is called a yajna. A sacred fire ritual is done by the family members. In essence, the Sellamma herself is doing the yajna. Even though she don't live in the body, she is doing the yajna because her body itself is developed into the bodies of the kids. All the kids, grandkids are extension of her own body. These are like branches that came out of the tree. Therefore, she is living in all of them. And so her grandchildren, great grandchildren, this generation will go on and she will be living in all of these people. Therefore, she is still living in all these family members. And hence, she is only performing, she is only offering her body in the fire. But she's doing that through the children, grandchildren. She's offering her body and performing the fire ritual or yajna, the sacred ritual. She is performing herself through the help of the family. Therefore, she's living. Her body becomes immortal. The body lives on forever because she's living in the family members. In this way, she is performing her own yajna, fire ritual, through the help of the family. And also, here, when we offer the body in the fire, we are releasing our soul from any attachment to the family, and the soul will go and take a different birth. So we are giving a chance for her to take a different birth. It is a thankfulness by the family because she gave birth to all the children in this world and they have the experience of this world. Now the family, the kids are helping her to take a new birth in a different world as a higher being. Therefore, they are repaying their debts to the parent in this ritual itself. That's why we perform this sacred ritual called cremation ritual and or the yajna, fire ritual. So all the family members participate and pray for her soul to evolve into higher being. So there's a little ritual I'll do at the end of this eulogy. At that time I'll explain little few minutes, few seconds, each of the steps why we do that for her. So, of course, I'll just do some prayer before I conclude. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrutyorma Amrutangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us move from untruth to truth, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let our soul attain complete completion. In fact, we believe that living 84 years itself is a long life because when you live for 84 years, you see 1,000 full moons. When you see 1,000 full moons, it's considered to be a long life. 84, and of course, next level is 100. She's very close to 100. She's already 95. So she lead a very noble life and a long life. She has seen so many things. When you see 84 full moons, that means moon represents the mind itself. That means she is completely matured in her lifetime. She has evolved into a higher being. She lead a very good long life. Therefore, she will attain completion and perfection in her life, and soul will definitely go to much higher birth. So, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, when what is it? I'm going to do the ritual. When, now or after? Who am I going to talk to? Is all the eulogy is done?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll be doing the ritual.
We can start.
Yeah, we can view it.
Start reading.
What did she say?
Before we start the procedure, the viewing has to be done, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Viewing has to be done.
Yeah.
Start.
So the funeral generally I do with the family, close family members. But if you want everybody to stay, it's okay. The viewing will be done after. But I think viewing done is now is good, I think. Everybody offer flowers because we put so much stuff inside and then it will be hard to see the viewing properly. So everybody can offer one flower petal right now. If they want to stay back for the ceremony, they can. But they can offer the flowers right now. We can start from the back.
Yeah. Start from back.
As they go, one member should stand there properly.
Thanks, Abhi.
Come a little bit inside. Everybody is outside. Come a little bit this side. Yeah, there. Come a little bit inside. The family don't need to go. You can stay.
That's all in.
Who are all the sons? Who are the sons?
What is it?
Kids. Who are the sons? Sons, S-O-N, son. The kids.
Kids are here. No,
Who are son? You are the son?
I am the son, yeah.
Yeah, only one?
Younger son. Yeah.
How many sons do you have?
Ravi? Children.
You need the other son too?
Yeah.
They will make, generally will make all of them.
Okay.
She has 5 boys.
No, over here too.
Only 3, yeah.
3 of them can do it.
Yeah.
Anybody in the family who want to offer, at the end, everybody will offer.
I can talk here. Can I see you for a second? We are only 3 children. We are fine only here. My brother, 2 brothers and mine, my sister. And the priest is asking that if you allow them to be participate.
Yeah.
So the ritual is going to be here.
Oh, it's going to be here.
You're okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're just going to open the whole
I'm going to open that right now for you.
Okay. I will be there. I have to
So only 3 persons will come with you, yeah? That's right?
I'm not sure what, Aaron, what is the rule there?
2 and you.
2 and
You and 2 more? Who's a priest for the cremation? Only how many people are allowed?
2 and the priest.
2 and the priest.
Yeah, priest is next.
There are 3 children over here.
And then one can be just in the hallway right behind the room with the door open.
So 2 only has to go.
Right.
Okay. You get into variable.
one of them can just be behind there.
Yeah, just behind them, eh?
I'm gonna.
Not yet, they are going to the ritual here. It's easier here than there. You do all the ritual.
Bob, with the priest, only 2 people can go.
Yeah, but so okay.
Our Hindu priest, Ravi Mama,
Where are the 3 sons? 3 sons are here?
Yeah.
Okay. And the rest of them come this side. No, the 3 sons stay here. Come here with me right now. Come here. Just wash your hands. Wash your hands. Apavitra wipe your hands. Apavitra pavitro sarva avasthangato vivayasmare. Okay, we're just going to take off the shoes. Yasmare tundarika shankara yasantara suchihi. Just come here for 1 second. 1 second, come here. This cart, you have to move it there. It'll be easier. This one, you can move it off. And we'll move it. Can you move that cart? Huh? Ribbon, can you bring the cart here? That's good. Agniriti bhasmam, vayuriti bhasmam, jalamiti bhasmam, salamiti bhasmam, vyometi bhasmam, sarvakam havayam bhasmam, bhutiri bhuti kari varti jana bhasmam. Sarvapatara sarvakam bhuti jana bhasmam, bhasman dhavayam. So 4 kids here? Yes. Oh, that's 3 only. ओम अपवित्र पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थांगतो दिवयस्वरे पुंडरीकाक्षं सभाभ्याभ्यंतर शुचिः उत्तिष्ठन्तु भूतपिशाचा एते भूमिभारका एते धर्मकर्म समारभे. So now we are going to take some flower petals from there or here. There are more flower petals. Take some flower petals from here. Yeah, everybody gets it. Now bring that whole basket if you. No, bring the basket and put it on the chair. Maybe they can all take. Let them all take the flowers, petals. Everybody take the petals. We'll pray to all the gods to bless this ritual and so that her soul will evolve and travel in a peaceful way. ओम श्री लक्ष्मी नारायणाभ्याम नमः उमा महेश्वराभ्याम नमः वाणी हिरण्यगर्भाभ्याम नमः शचि पुरंदराभ्याम नमः अरुंधति वसिष्ठाभ्याम नमः ओम श्री सीतारामाभ्याम नमः मैत्रेयी कात्यायनी सहित याज्ञवल्क्याभ्याम नमः रुक्मिणी सत्यभामा राधा समेत श्रीकृष्णाभ्याम नमः वल्ली देवसेना समेत श्री सुब्रह्मण्य परब्रह्मण्य नमो नमः सकल दिग्देवताभ्याम नमः सकल भूदेवताभ्याम नमः राष्ट्रदेवताभ्याम नमः ग्रामदेवताभ्याम नमः गृहदेवताभ्याम नमः आदित्यादि नवग्रह देवताभ्याम नमः आदित्याय च सोमाय मंगलाय बुधाय च गुरु शुक्र शनिभ्यश्च राहवे केतवे नमः. Offer the flower petals on her one by one. Now we're going to do a sankalpa. Sankalpa means you're going to state what we are doing here. We are doing a antyeshti samskara, which means it is offering the body back into the nature and asking our soul to travel to the higher worlds and take a higher birth. That is the purpose of this ritual. We'll state that again here clearly, and each person will tell their name. Evam guna visheshana vasishtayam subhadita. Who is the first one? First son. Who is first? Is not there. So who is the second one? Susendra Bose Namadheyasya. Do you know your nakshatra? Punarbose Nakshatrasya Susendra Bose Namadheyasya. Third one? Ravindra Bose Namadheyasya Nakshatram. Purana Nakshatrasya. Fourth one? Huh? Panchendra Bose Nakshatram. Ashwini Nakshatrasya. Dekumar Namadheyasya Nakshatram. Ashwini Nakshatrasya. Then you say Mama. Say Mama. Matuhu. That is means our mother. That is, and what is her name? Sellamma Namadevati Antyeshti Karma Aham Karishe. I am offering this final rites for my mother. You said that. So offer some flowers on her again. Everybody, all of you. So we are going to pray to gods right now to bless this time. So take some more flower petals. We're going to pray now. Take some flower petals. Om Shantakaram Bhujagasayenam Padmanabham Suresam Viswadharam Gagana Sadrisam Megavarnam Subhangam Lakshmikantam Kamalanayanam Yogi Urjanagamyam Vande Vishnum Bhava Bhayaharam Sarvalokaikanadham Vande Shambhu Mumapatim Suragurum Vande Jagat Karanam Vande Pannagabhushanam Mrugadharam Vande Pasunam Patim Vande Shivam Shankaram Om Sri Ganga Bhavani Shankara Swamini Namo Namaha Gangeyam Vagnigarbham Saravana Janitam Jnanathiktam Kumaram Subramanyam Skanda Devam Guha Mamala Gunam Rudrateja Surupam Senanyam Taragagnam Guru Machilitam Kartikayam Shadasam Sri Subramanya Parabrahmane Namo Namaha Sri Ganga Bhavani Shankara Swamini Namo Namaha Om Namah Parvatipate Namo Namaha. Offer the flowers now. Mango leaves you can use to dip them and sprinkle on her bath. You can do the milk bath first. I don't know how we can do that.
You want to sprinkle? How do I do? I don't know.
No, just sprinkle, but we need another glass. This is only glass. Get one glass. Then we pour the milk and then we sprinkle this. And the leaves in the other. Yeah. What is in there, Janalekha?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Just a little.
That maybe is
If you want to add it, that's all.
no, maybe I have a small rotate.
They should allow that to student, but in this time.
Turn it, then turn it, that's okay.
I think I got one over there. Yeah, I have one over there. Yeah, leave it at the back, maybe. If we forget it.
Yeah.
You use only cup.
Yeah. Thank you.
So now we're going to do a little sprinkling of that. Just sprinkle there. Nice sprinkle.
Oh, there, for God.
Yeah.
Are you going to read any scripture?
Yeah. What is her name? Sellamma and Shivagotrasya. Shivagotrasya Sellamma Pretasya Mridisana Shavanamitta Snanam Mayadhyate Tava Patishtitam. All the 4 kids can do it. Is this the Bilva leaves?
Yes.
So we'll offer, when we did Shiva Prarthana, we should offer that one. So we'll offer that one. No, right now we'll offer those Bilva leaves. No, those are Tulsi, the other one.
This one?
Yeah.
So
No.
we can finish here.
Yeah. Everything is done here only. There only we are going to light the camphor. Because of before I used to do everything in that room, they're not allowing there. So we'll do all the yajna, everything here only. There we'll take the camphor and ask them to put inside the coffin. Now the mango leaves you can put it inside.
Put it here.
And inside.
All of them.
No milk all.
Only this one, yeah.
Yeah, mango leaves you can leave it inside. But milk, I don't know, you can pour it there if you want. I think you can pour it.
The milk inside.
Yeah, but you can pour it there.
You can leave it over there too, with the cup too.
Just put it inside, yeah.
Pour the milk. Pour it. Then you have this milk also, put it. No, there's more milk in there, right? Pour all of it. And that glass is there. That's good. Now we are going to give her a Ganga Jalam Snanam. So this is.
So what about?
There's also need to go. All the 4 kids can take it and spread it. Spread it all around here. Tridalam Trigunakaram Trijanma Papasam Haram Ekabilvam Sivarpanam. Now we sprinkle this water on pure water. I finish that after finishing I will sprinkle it. Shivagotrasya Sellamma Pretasya Mridisana Shavanimitta Bilapatram Samarpayami. Now we are going to use this pure water bath. We'll sprinkle on her. Shivagotrasya, sprinkle on her. Shivagotrasya Sellamma Mridisane Shavanimitta Snanam Mayadhiyate Tavopatishtatam. So this body is offered into the fire, and so we sanctify the body with all this bathing. So we did milk bathing, and we did the Ganga Jalam, that is sacred water bathing. Then we treat the body as a chandanam, gandham, because gandham is constantly giving good smell, and she also in her life doing good actions. That's loving action. They represent the good smell of her life. and the gandham slowly evaporates as it giving good smell. Also, body also slowly evaporates and ultimately disappears with the time. But we still remember all the loving action. We still remember all the good smell, the chandanam. So there is chandanam here. This chandanam needs to be offered on all of them. There's a spoon here. You use a spoon if you need to, and offer chandanam on all of them.
No, take more.
Take the whole.
No,
Take the container and offer three. One because by the end of this, all the 4 kids offer all of the chandanam. No chandanam right now. So all the things what we are going to offer, they are going to be empty. They are not going to leave anything and take home. Then other kids can also do the same. Shivagotrasya Sellamma Brita Smritisana Shivanimitta Gandham Maya Dhiyate Tavo Patishtitam. And the last one offer all the chandanam. Gandham Maya Dhiyate Tavo Patishtitam. At the end, we'll just empty it like this. When everything is done, we'll do it. But right now, we have to do more ritual, so we'll just wait. So, what is his name?
Panchendra Bose.
Panchendra Bose. What we'll do? We'll do bhasmam. Next is bhasmam. Kumkumam bhasmam. We have to offer one of them.
So the next one is this one.
Yeah.
Okay. We start right now.
Yeah. Shiva Gotrasya Sellamma Bradamritisana Shavan with the Bhasman Mayadhete. The Bhasma represents the final state of everybody. The final state of all our experience is always happiness. Whatever we enjoy in this world, it's a state of happiness. Everything is burned down in the furnace of the mind. So the life is. So we offer the Bhasmam to indicate that she attained happiness in this lifetime. She gave happiness to all of you. And that happiness is represented by the white ash. Mridustane Shavanimitta Bhasmam Maya Dhiyate Tavo Patishtitam. I will just empty it at the end of it when all the ritual is done. No, just do the Bhasmam right now. Do as much as you could right now, and then I'll tell you. Yeah, later. We do the yajnam. In the yajnam time, everything is offered. Next, we'll do the kumkumam. Shiva Gotrasya Shalama Pradamritisana Shavanimitta Kumkumam Mayadhete. There is that red powder. Now we do the red powder. Do the red powder. The red one right now. Kumkumam Mayadhete Tavo Patishtitam. Good. Right now, one spoon is good. Let them other people do it. Okay, now we're going to do is mala, pushpa mala. We have a flower garland here. There's a flower garland here. Where is the garland here? Yeah, this one garland, right?
Yeah.
All the 4 of you hold like this, touch it, and then touch it, and then put it across. Like
What's your time?
Yeah, just arrange it, just around her neck, as if you are wearing the garland to her. These flowers represent the garland, flowers represent all the love she gave to you every day on daily basis. Shivagotrasya Sellamma Mritana Shivanimitta Pushpamala Maya Dhiyate Tavopatishtatam. There was, I brought one candle here. This one's still on. So this one hold it, one person hold it, then one, and that's one, right? Just hold it, everybody go around it. 1 second, I'll tell you what to do. Huh? Yeah, we should take the gold chain. Yeah. After, let us before Yajna, we'll do it. 1 second. Before we do the ritual, all the ritual is done, then we'll take it. Okay. Right now, we're going to go around in a circle. So this is going to come in your way. So we are making a circle to her, saying that when person passes away, it's going to cause sadness not only to you because you lost one person, she lost all the family members. So there's a sadness. That sadness becomes like a darkness in the path. So this lamp I'm showing you with my love and prayer to light your path so you can travel. So that is a mantra you go around.
Just go around and come over.
So we'll remove this one from here and make 3 rounds.
3 rounds, eh?
Yeah, all of you go up beside him, behind him. Yamadware Mahaghore Andhena Tamasavrutte Tatravalokanarthaya Deepo Yamopatishtitam Shivagotrasya Sellamma Britasya Mritisthane Shivanimitta Deepam Maya Dhiyate Tavopatishtatam.
One more round, 3 rounds.
3 rounds.
Okay, this is good. No.
Then you can put the candle here.
Just put it on the right, yeah?
Yeah, you can put it there. Okay, that's there, okay. Now we're going to be offering. So in olden times, they carried the body on the shoulders because she carries the kids all her life. So they always made sure they carried her on their shoulders, the kids. And so as they're carrying, they stopped 4 times, 5 times. And each time they took a rice ball and distributed in all the 4 directions, indicating your body is going back in the nature now. We have the rice balls here. So in that rice balls, we're going to put one, this vessel. And that one we put some ellu, I don't know what it's called. Ellu, one rice ball, take it off. One rice ball, and one ellu in there. So we cannot throw them in the 4 directions here because her body is going in all the. We believe that the 5 times we stop her. Each time one element is going back into the nature. 5 elements: earth, solids, liquids, fire, air, and space. Earth, water, fire, air, and space. 5 elements are going back in the nature. So they stopped 5 times on the way, and each time they took one pinda and distributed in all the 4 directions. It did 2 purposes. One is to indicate her body is going back in the nature, but these rice balls are eaten by the bugs and bacteria, whatever they eat, then they bless because they're also souls. They also need food. So when they eat, they bless, they send the blessing. So that's the reason so here we're just going to put all the rice balls in the coffin itself. We'll not put anywhere through it. So every time, so all of you will be ready. So you stop once, stop second time, stop third time, start fourth time. 5th time is in the cremation ground itself. Last time is in the cremation ground where we offer the body in the fire. So, but here we are all doing here itself. And 5th one also will put in her hand. I'll tell you what to do. But you all have the 4th one. You all have 4, right? But let us do one by one. Fifth one, what to do, I'll tell you. Shivagotrasya Sellamma Pradhamrisana Sevanimittesha Pinda Mayadhita Tava. Put in one corner. Shivagotrasya Sellamma Pradhwaradeshe Pandhanimitta Eshate Pinda. Second one in this corner, third one in this corner. Yeah, you can put it there. Shivagotrasya Sellamma Vishwandhau Bhumna Bhutanamna Nimitta Pindamaya, the fourth one in this corner. The fifth one goes near her hand. So all of the four kids touch the fifth one because. So now put the fourth one. The fourth one is already done.
Yeah, yeah, done.
No, corner. For all the four corners are done. The fifth one. Where is the fifth? Open the fifth. How come there's a?
That's a fifth one.
Now how come there is more? Four corners you put four?
Yeah,
One.
there's a fifth one.
The sixth one also it looks like, right? Yeah, you can take the fifth one right now and put some sesame seeds in that. All the four of you touch it.
Yeah.
This one tells you that we are giving all our love and our good actions, some of our good actions to you also. And you are taking only your good actions in this lifetime. You don't have anything you can take, including your body also, you have to leave it here. But the good actions you did, they'll come with you. So those good actions are represented by this fifth ball. This will go with her soul. So we put this one in her hand and near her right hand. So all of you touch it and we'll put near her right hand.
You all touch it here?
Yeah, touch it here itself. And then we'll put them in the right, near the right hand, indicating that all her good actions she did are going with her soul. Yeah. Shivagotrasya Sellamma Shivahaste Sadhaka Nimitta Eshate Pinda Maya Dhete Tavopatishthita. See that one. So all the five pindas are offered. Now we are going to offer a prayer on her. Take all of you, four kids, take the flowers in your hand. We're going to pray to the gods to bless the ritual, complete the ritual. You go in front of her. Om Anadhinidhano Devaha Shankha Chakra Gadadharaha Akshaya Pundarikakshaha Preta Moksha Prado Bhava Krishna Krishna Krupalo Tvamakati Nam Gatir Bhava Samsararnava Magnanam Prasidha Purushottama offering. So now, all the family members, the immediate blood relations, who are ever here, they're going to go around her body once, and there is rice here. The rice is offered near her mouth as a final meal, and then just touch their feet. When you come this side, just touch her feet and come off. Now you start, four kids start first, take the rice, put near her mouth. This is indicating that the final meal they're offering. Put first near her mouth. And then put namaskar and go around her. All the family kids can do it. The rice. And then touch your feet. This is the last time you can offer your respect by touching her feet. So that's why you have to do it, because after this you can't do it. And that the rice represents the final meal we offered to her. Everybody done it? Okay. So this is a ritual that is done at the home. And then we have a little ritual at the cremation place. That also we'll do here only. But To go to the cremation place, they didn't go in a car in olden days. They carried the body. So all the 4 kids come to the 4 sides of the coffin right now and just move it a half inch as if you're carrying her. Just slightly move it. All the four sides, 4 kids, 4 sides. Om Prehi Prehi Padabhi. Just move it a little bit, 1 inch, half inch. Prehi Prehi Padabhi. Good now. Move it back. That's good. Perfect. Purye Nene Te Purve. Just like symbolically. Otherwise, you can't carry here anyhow. Pitrah Pareta Ubha Rajano Sadhaya Madanto Yamam Pasyasu Varunam Cha Devam. Okay, now now we are going to do the yajna. The fire ritual we are supposed to do there. We're going to do it here itself. We are not putting the fire, but we are offering all the chanting and all the material. So the wood sticks are here, and this you need to open it up. So everything is offered except one. This one I need later. This bottle I need later, and we need just this incense sticks later. So except these ones, rest of all of them are going in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this up. Open up and pour it in here. You can use the scissors. You already made a hole in this one, right?
Yes. Break it.
Open it. Open it and pour it here. In the corner. Leave it like that is okay. So now we're going to do the yajna part. So we're going to do the sticks. The sticks are there. You can open the sticks. The camphor we're going to take it there.
You can just do it.
Yeah. This also let me go. Before we do the yajna, this is the cloth. I think this is like a shawl. 1 second. Yeah, before we do the yajna, we'll just offer this. We'll do this after the yajna because then it looks nice to cover this one. So before we do this. Now we start the yajna. When I say swaha, you offer one material, any material. This one or any of that.
Any of the one, yeah.
All of them go. So all the 4 kids can share and put it inside. Okay. When I say first is, there's some camphor here. There's some camphor in a cover. Did you see that there? I was opening it here just now. Just now it was in the cover. I opened it. Huh?
The camphor was there.
Where? It was there just now. Okay, it's okay.
This one? No.
In a small cover.
Small cover, yeah.
I'll just take this one. First put this one. Om Bhur. I know I took from there and Om Bhur Bhuva Soramiti Agnim Pratishtha. Put the first on the other heart. Put the camphor near the heart. Om Bhur Bhuva Agnim Pratishtapya. Now you keep on adding. Keep on adding the stuff. Okay. I'll just start in a minute. Okay. Om Loma Bhya Swaha. Now, when I say Swaha, you offer. Om Tvache Swaha. Om Lohitaya Swaha. Om Medo Bhya Swaha. Om Mamse Bhya Swaha. Om Stanubhya Swaha. Om Astibhya Swaha. Om Majjabhya Swaha. Om Retase Swaha. Om Payave Swaha. Om Ayasaya Swaha. Om Prayasaya Swaha. Om Samyaya Swaha. Om Vyasaya Swaha. Om Udhyaya Swaha. Om Suche Swaha. Om Sochamana Sokaya Swaha. Om Sochamanaya Swaha. Om Tapase Swaha. Om Tapyate Swaha. Om Tapyamanaya Swaha. Taptaya Swaha. Dharmaya Swaha. Nishkrutyai Swaha. Prayaschityai Swaha. Bheshajaya Swaha. Yamaya Swaha. Antakaya Swaha. Mruchave Swaha. Brahmane Swaha. Brahmahatyai Swaha. विश्वेभ्यो देवेभ्य स्वाहा ध्यावा पृथ्वीभ्य स्वाहा ओम प्रेतपाय स्वाहा ओम प्रेतभूमिपाय स्वाहा ओम प्रेतहंत्र्यै स्वाहा. Now all of them can go. Just empty it, the whole thing without the plastic. Just take off the plastic. And take off the plastic, We still do with respect. We don't dump anything. And now that can go in the garbage. Leave it here. Put it here. Now this one's all going to go. So now put the flowers. Put the flowers all inside. All the flowers inside. All the flowers are going inside. Then you can put that inside. That's tulsi, but it got really spoiled. Maybe you should throw it in. Not good. Throw it. Put this camphor near her heart.
This is small.
This one also. That one also goes.
This one also, eh?
That one also goes. That's not tulsi. That's bilwa, I think, no? That's bilwa. Yeah. That also goes. That we need to put all the camphor in this one. So put only 3-4 in here and rest of inside. This incense also goes. All the incense also goes.
Over there?
Yeah. All of goes. All the, you don't like it. The fruits also goes. Fruits go.
No, the
this
fruits
all
also,
around.
yeah.
Right, if you put this one, this is ghee, put all around. I can mantra.
Just put all of it.
Just put
All of it.
Om, yeah. Om Chittim cha swaha chittayedam. Om chittisya swaha chittayedam. Om akutim cha swaha akutayedam namaha. Om vignatam cha swaha vignatayedam namaha. Manasya swaha sekvaryasya swaha sekvaryayedam namaha. Darsasya swaha darsayedam. Radhantaram cha swaha radhantarayedam. Empty the whole thing. Om Bho Swaha, Om Bhuva Swaha, Om Suva Swaha, Om Bhur Bhuva Suva Swaha, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnama Om Shanti 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 Swaha. It's not coming? Is it coming?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Empty? Okay, good. Come. Now put all these fruits. All the fruits. Fruits, flowers, and that banana leaf can also go. Put this one coconut near her head, one coconut near her foot. This one is in there. Yeah, everything goes. It's all fire ritual.
Yeah, but you don't need over the other side. Everything goes in.
Everything here only. The ritual is completed here only. Only fire in the last. This fruits also go in there. Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. One put near the feet. That dry one put near the feet. Put near the feet. Put this one near the center.
It's over here.
Near the feet.
Oh.
One beside the head. That's good. This fruits also goes. Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha.
So all of them, yeah?
All of them. So traditionally we have a pot filled with water, has a hole, and the hole goes out slowly, water goes out, and that indicates the life is escaping, and then they break the pot, indicating now that this lifetime is over. So here we just use this one. So you hold it on the shoulder like this, and then when you're walking, just break it like that.
Like that.
Yeah. And as you're walking, use one hand to sprinkle water outside because you don't have a hole.
Outside.
Because in that need to have a hole and water need to fall out, so we're not able to do that. So sprinkle a little bit with the spoon, with the flour. When you done that one, put the flour inside. We need to adapt a lot of things here because we can't do same things. So give it to Parthiban. Can you just go and outside and find a stone and drop it on there so that it breaks? Not here, outside. Just see some hard surface and drop it like that. Leave it and it'll break. Yeah.
Come with me. Here, this way.
So take this once. Imagine this as a torch. Everybody take two. Use a torch in the last and you go around it and then touch near the head. We'll light the fire. So this is the last step here. After lighting, imagine this is lighting, and then you drop all this incense inside. Just a couple of more, all of them go inside. Here, just two more. So you're going to go around and come near the head, around the head, and touch near the head. We are lighting the fire. Okay. कृत्वा सुदुष्कृतां कर्म जानता वाप्य जानता मृत्युकालवशं प्राप्य नरं पंचतत्त्वमागतः धर्माधर्म समायुक्तं लोभमोह समावृतः देहेयं सर्वगात्राणि दिव्यान् लोकान् स गच्छतु. Go near the head and imagine you're lighting the fire. No, go to the head side. Yeah, do from the head side. So this part completes the ritual that is supposed to be done there in the cremation place. So there, this last one we have this. This one should be put after bath, but because we want to make it look nice, we're putting in the last one. Open it and spread it nicely and so that it looks nice. Spread on the top, from the neck down. So when we this is a camphor here, we will light this one a little bit, and then this will go inside at that place. And when you're done that, we have this this one. Do a little ritual here for 30 seconds. So I'll leave this one here. You need to do the last part of the ritual. From there, when you come here, that's the last part of the ritual. But this one needs to be lit there, so they will help you. So I'll come with you and I'll chant a mantra for lighting this one, and this whole thing will go inside. That's what we're going to do right now. So now they'll move the body there. Yeah, we're going to take it now.
Change some here.
You take. The last.
No, you what Aaron, what all the rest of you will wait. They can wait in the front there.
We have final prayer when we come back.
You can stay here also. No
You
problem.
can stay here?
Yeah.
Oh.
You can stay here until we come back.
So we're stopping 5 times?
No,
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 okay.
we did all that in here already. Anybody, I think we have matches there somewhere.
Where is that?
Yeah, okay, so we just want to light this one. And then this one. You can go in the back, not side,
Yep, follow behind me.
follow behind.
Can I take that?
Yes, take it
ready.
out.
And is it okay for my brothers to come? Of course.
All three of us.
That's fine.
I'll come. I'll chant the mantra and you put the fire inside.
That water is holy water.
That one we need it here. Sarvamai Purnatvam Swaha. I'll just wait here. I'll just light the lamp.
Check your names. Is it name? Is it name? Vijay Singham? Okay. Vijay Singham. Oh, I'm sorry.
So being Kata.
I'll take the class right here. So. That one too? Check the two. School here. he was fully on your screen.
Yes.
Could you please stop it? No, it's all done.
I did this.
I'm just going to this final part. This final part says that this is the best we know, this is the best we could do for you, mother. But rest of it is in God's hands. It's supreme creator. He can only. So that indicates that you're dropping your responsibility at this point and giving it to the gods. So to drop that, I'll give you this sesame seed and look in your hands, all of you, little by little. Put all of you a little bit in your hands. As I chant, you're going to one hand you pour water and drop it. Drop it from between index finger and thumb. So it won't drop from here. I'll chant the mantra from there. Om Anadhinidhano Devah Shankachakra Gadadharah Akshaya Pundarikaksha Preta Moksha Pradobhava Narayana Surashreshta Lakshmi Kanta Janardhana Anena Tarpanartha Preta Moksha Pradobhava. So now you put your hands there one by one. Wait. You first. You just let it come to this here. In the middle. Now bring it here. Now open your thumb. And tilt your hand this side towards the thumb. It will fall between thumb and index finger. Just drop it off. Drop the whole thing. Drop it. Okay. You're dropping your responsibility, so do it same. Tilt and drop it between the thumb and index finger.
That way. Either that way, yeah, okay. No. He has other way. No, it's okay.
Now open the thumb. Drop it. Your hand is not available.
Yes, it's okay.
Okay. No, anything is there left. So this completes our prayer. So you just go home, take that bath, all the clothes in the wash.
Yeah.
Now at this point, I'll sprinkle water on everybody to sanctify. Om Gange cha Yamune cha Godavari Narmada Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhim Kuru Apavitra Pavitro Va Sarvavasthangadavyo Yasmare Sundarikaksham Sabha Gyabhyantara Suchihi Uttishtantu Bhudapisacha Ete Gumkhanaka Ete Shavirodhena I hope everybody had some little bit sprinkle on there. Now this completes all our ritual. And go home and take bath.
Yeah, can I give that money right now?
Yeah. The third one or second one?
I am the youngest one.
The youngest one.
He is old.